we have 4 seasons every single year. We have winter, spring, summer, and fall. The seasons are determined by the weather, and the weather is determined by the Earth's location around the sun. Say, if the Earth is tilted towards the sun, then the northern hemisphere, where the United States is, gets direct sunlight, so it's hot. The temperature is really hot. But as the Earth moves around the sun to the other side, the southern hemisphere gets more of the light, so it's hot in the southern hemisphere. But the northern hemisphere gets an angled light, so there are cooler temperatures in the northern hemisphere. So let's talk about what weather to expect in each season. Let's start with January. From about January to March, we have winter, and winter is the coldest season. The temperatures vary from about 28 to 48 degrees. Within that span, you have water's freezing point. So the water in the clouds, whenever it falls from the sky, there are tiny little ice particles that we call snow. The snow falls on the ground, and it sometimes turns to ice. And then, whenever wind is accompanied with the snow, that's when you get blizzards, and it gets all in your face, and then it's really hard to drive, and you can't go to school, but you can always make snow angels and snowmen. So everything works out in the end. Around March 20th, the Earth begins to tilt, the northern hemisphere gets to turn a little bit more towards the sun. The weather starts to warm up. And when the weather warms up, that's whenever you can start dressing a little bit less warm. And whenever the water falls from the sky, it's no longer ice particles, it's water particles. And the sun's a little bit brighter, so the plants get to be fed. And that's when you get flowers. And the flowers and the trees start to bloom. Also associated with spring is a lot of rainfall. The average rainfall for Charleston, West Virginia during the spring months is 13 inches. So make sure you're prepared. The summer months last between June and September. So the Earth turns a little bit further around the sun, which causes the North Pole to be directly tilted towards the sun. And that causes the weather to be really hot and the sun to be really bright. Oh, melting! Summer is the hottest season of the year. You have temperatures ranging up to 85 or more degrees. And because there's not a lot of rain, but there's a lot of sunshine, the Earth becomes very dry. The first day of fall is in September, September 22nd. As the Earth turns a little bit more around the sun and almost back to its original starting point, the northern hemisphere once again points away from the sun, causing cooler weather. Because the Earth is not getting the sunlight that it needs, the leaves turn colors and start to fall to the ground. And the weather gets cooler, almost back to its original temperature in winter. And then, as the Earth turns all the way back to its original position in December, you get really cold weather again. And you get more snow and more ice to start off the new year. Thanks for joining us, and make sure to stay prepared for all of your weather needs.
And make sure you bundle up.